a great show for you this week. It's myself, joined by Phil Gerbyshak, co-hosting in the hot seat. And then we've got a great guest this week. We got Christine Griffin. We were just talking backstage, lots of energy. I actually got her name from another guest. I think it was actually Chelsea Pites last week, who we had on the show. But we've got Christine. So I'm going to pop on, say a quick hello, and then we're going to get on with the show. So, hey guys, how you doing? Got a great show. Lots and lots and lots of topics to talk to you about this week in social media news. As you know, social media is always changing. There's always something new going on. And we like to help you keep up with this, and what we do basically is, we talk about what's new, but also how it is applicable to you as a business owner. Because here's the thing, if you're just using it for personal use, I'm glad you are. But, again, most people are doing this, incorporating social media into their business, and they need to learn how to implement these, these topics, these updates into what they're currently doing or adjust what they're currently doing, for example. So I'm excited. I'm going to go and bring on Phil, and then we're going to kick things off. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, Christian, what's up, buddy? How are you? It's great to see you.
Doing great. Fantastic. Great to see you as well. So can you tell viewers about this week's guest while we fix a couple of things here?
Absolutely. So if you haven't met Christine Griffin, she's just a bundle of energy and smartness. She simplifies social media for small businesses. She's the host of LinkedIn Local Westchester. She's a live streamer, and she says she's a micro business mega fan, which I love. She's spoken at Inbound, Atomicon, and coming up, Social Media Week Lima and Social Media Day Houston. So she's going to have a busy June, and she's going to rock her socks off today with some great insights about all that's happening in social.
So
hi, everyone.
There she is. What's up, Christine?
My energy level, apparently. Woo, coffee.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, Phil, I got to fix a couple of things here behind the scenes, but
yeah,
just feel free to run with things.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Yeah. Well, Christine, so first of all, hit you. So yeah, hey, so we're stoked that you're here. So I gave you a little intro. So, what kind of coffee do you drink? How do you drink your coffee?
I drink it black, and that was a process to get there. It started with drinking better coffee, but now I can drink even crappy coffee black.
Yeah. I'm a Phil's Coffee fan, of course. My name is Phil, right? So that makes sense. So do you have a favorite coffee that you love?
My favorite coffee shop in town, Boxer Donut, uses Stumptown coffee.
Very good.
Yeah, so that's good stuff, and that's what got me. I weaned myself off of milk and sugar on that, and then we also have a great coffee roaster right here in the Hudson Valley. Coffee Labs Roasters in Tarrytown, and a place in town, Pie Lady, has that. So it's good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's very good. So yep, I like my black coffee too. I have my Phil's coffee mug here.
Nice.
But that one is dirty, so I've got just my Contigo today.
I don't know Phil's Coffee. I got to check that out.
Oh, PHILZ, Phil's Coffee is the bomb diggity. They're on Facebook's campus even, so they're really good.
Fancy.
Not sponsoring the show yet, but we should make that happen. Hey,
Make it happen.
We should, yes. By the way, you get any royalties on that, Phil?
I wish I did, right? I don't, but I do give away Phil's Coffee for gifts and stuff because they are the best coffee, and it's my name. So what the heck?
You should do some affiliate marketing. You should be an influencer.
Affiliate, right? So there you go.
Affiliate. I love it.
Good.
That's enough puns on the name.
Thinking like a marketer.
That's
never
it.
Puns.
That's true too. That's true. So
I want to thank everybody who's watching, by the way. We're broadcasting now on our Facebook page, facebook.com/social chefs. Also on my personal Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channels. All those are at Social Chefs, and also over on my personal YouTube channel as well. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them. Obviously, I'm sitting here looking at the comments now going on right now. We've got Joanne. I want to thank Joanne for joining, and Barb, and Jessica Phillips, and Troy, and Gail, and who else is here? We got and Tim Son as well. So we got quite.
We love them all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, I've been on Tim's show too, the Tim and Jim show.
Yes. So we got. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining. So Phil, where do you want to start? By the way.
Well, let's start with something fairly easy, right? The podcast thing, I think, is the most interesting thing and probably the thing that we can talk the most about. And that is Google now is going to start indexing podcasts and return audio results in the search engines. So voice answers are going to be direct clips from audio content. At some point, Dr. Pete Myers at Mozcom, he's the guy here that showed this. I think this is fascinating. This plus the fact that they can pull point in time almost makes me wonder, like, why would anyone download a whole episode? Yep. It's really interesting, right? If I'm going to search and I want to hear exactly only what Christine Gritman said about podcast inserts, then I can find it. So I don't know, Christine, is this good? Is this bad? Or is this just the way it is?
I think well, I'm a little torn because on the one hand, I think it's good. To your point about why would they download the whole podcast, I think they totally would, because if you give someone a taste that is of high value to them, it doesn't sate them. It actually whets their appetite for more of that expertise, I think. They say you get by giving, and I really do think that that's actually going to be good. I think that's going to draw people's attention to these podcasts. The thing that I'm not confident about is, first of all, how are they picking these clips? Like, I'm not sure artificial intelligence is quite there yet. How do they even find these? I'm not entirely confident about how good the results are going to be just yet, which is surprising for Google. Normally, I have a lot of faith in Google, especially with search.
Cool.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's mixed. But in terms of your concern of why download the podcast, I think the opposite. I think it's going to help people establish that value.
Interesting. I don't know. Christian, what do you think, bud?
I like the idea of putting podcasts into Google search rankings. I think for me, the one thing that is probably going to be the bigger question for a lot of people, and this always comes up, because when people went from websites to social media, and now like, hey, podcasts, even though they've been out for a long time, a lot of people have not tapped into them. A lot of people want to question, well, hey, why should I publish my content, for instance? Why should I, for instance, run a blog or a website? Why should I put my content out, go through all the work to put it on all these, like, iTunes and Spotify and all these other places, to only then have, for instance, Google, Google actually just bringing them up for people, for instance, not actually have people go to listen to all the other, all the other ones that are there. So I like the idea of this. I think it's going to bring up a lot of questions though for people. I also think this ties in great with possibly Google AMP as well. So that's basically formatting. I could see Google basically doing the same thing for, giving precedence for people who are running AMP, for instance, as well.
So that, you know what? That's interesting, huh? AMP. That's interesting, right?
I don't love the idea in general of I know this is already how it is, but I already am uncomfortable with the idea of Google search results being less organic and being more connected to things like that. So if they give preference to people who are on AMP, it's making me lose a little faith in Google results. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. You really think Google results aren't already gamed by 37?
I know they're gamed already. I would just like them not to be further gamed.
Well, I don't know if you saw, this is a little bit off topic, but talking about that, LinkedIn said that they've got 50 people that decide what's viral on LinkedIn. They've got a crew of editors, 50 people. Andy Foote reported that this week. And I got to tell you, stuff like that makes me like, so you mean all I have to do is be nice to 50 people?
Did they give you their names? Do we know how they like their coffee?
For sure. Yeah, I should have tagged you in the post. For sure. You should check it out. It's ridiculous, right? Their LinkedIn editors is their Twitter handle. And it's like, if you play nice with them, now you get ranking.
All right, now I know who's asked to kiss. I'm on it.
That's it, right? So that's the interesting thing. Google has always been mysterious, but now we're realizing not only are they mysterious, but they're selfish, right? They don't want to do no evil. They just only want to do evil if it benefits them.
Isn't that evil?
I think it is. I don't know. Christian, thoughts?
I think here's the thing. I mean, I think every platform wants to own something, and so, for example, if I'm Google, I want to come out with my own product because, hey, it's going to encourage people to build their site and optimize it for my search engine, for example. If I'm buying, for instance, a GoPro, I'm buying an iPhone, for instance, doesn't matter. All of them, they all have proprietary products. For GoPro, it's the little clip-on accessories, for example. So I don't see anything wrong with doing it like this. I think that, again, I mean, everybody wants their business to benefit. So
yeah, good call. But this is interesting. This is potentially big news. So be ready for this. Make sure that you speak clearly, and whenever possible, get it transcribed so that you get the right stuff not just the wrong stuff. Use our favorite tool, Otter.ai. They're not a sponsor of the show, but I love those guys. I mention them every chance I get. Christine, are you an Otter fan?
I haven't used Otter.
Oh,
but
my
I
goodness.
will say transcription software always thinks my last name is Griffin. So I got to make sure I correct that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Otter.ai, great tool.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't.
Well, definitely a tool. And by the way, to Phil's point also about speaking clearly, for example, if you're going to use, let's just talk equipment real quick here. If you're going to, try to record any sort of audio, you could use the built-in mic on your smartphone, but a lot of times, it's very scratchy. The same thing happens with your laptop. So I'd recommend investing in an external microphone. Don't get the $20 ones. You'll hear a lot of people say, hey, I record my stuff with a $20 mic. Honestly, those people do not record it with a $20 mic. They have a mixer. They have, they have a high-end microphone that they're using. So, there is an investment in there, but you do get the payoff in terms of the audio. So keep that in mind. And they could also, by the way, Phil, I guess they could check out the tool we talked about last week as well, Blogcast. So,
absolutely. Yeah. That's the interesting thing, right? We're going to see more and more tools making this more and more there, right? More and more available so that it works with the new stuff. So perhaps that Blogcast, right? Maybe they're already ahead of our game. Maybe they're already thinking ahead. Maybe they're in some private beta, or maybe not. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool opportunity here. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely. So where do we want to go? We've got the Google podcast.
Well, let's move to Twitter, right? Let's move to Twitter. Twitter's now offering retweet GIFs and emojis and other stuff to make a retweet more interesting. So it doesn't just
they didn't have it already. It is so weird they didn't have it already. I'm always replying with GIFs, and it drives me insane that I can't do a retweet, especially when I guest on a Twitter chat. When I'm the guest on a Twitter chat, of course I'm retweeting stuff, but I can't include a GIF, and it makes it sad. It's like, I don't know. I'm not a big text only person.
Right. Well, you got personality, right? That's the thing that we all want. You got to inject your personality. And I think this allows that. Now, with apologies to Ann Wynn, who hates GIFs on LinkedIn, I think this is a good move, right?
LinkedIn is different from Twitter.
No,
it's so different.
It's the same. We'll talk about that another day, right? No, it's not. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that either. But, right. So, but we think about this, and we think about this as an opportunity, again, to inject more personality. When you're on a Twitter chat, I believe you should retweet the original, add your stuff, and then add some flavor. So I'm all about that. I think that's much needed. And to your point, I thought they had it, and they didn't. So it's good that it's here. Good. Christian, what are you going to do with this?
Aware that they didn't.
So here's the thing. Like I've never really used the original Twitter app. I've always been using, like Tweetbot, and apps like that for my tweets. So this isn't terribly like big news to me, but if you're someone that uses use the native Twitter app, I think that it's definitely something you want to, to start to incorporate. I kind of, as Christine mentioned, I'm surprised that they didn't do this before now, because everyone else supports GIFs and whatnot in, messages and whatnot.
They support what now?
Do what?
I was just making fun of GIFs.
Yeah, because they are giraffics. They are giraffics, and
the person who invented them actually called them GIFs, but the internet has overruled him.
Yeah, he's an idiot. It's okay. So.
He was a choosy mom.
He was. Yep. I prefer Skippy. Actually, Home Plate peanut butter is my peanut butter of choice. Have you had Home Plate? Home Plate peanut butter is the bomb.com. My buddy Clint Greenleaf owns it. It's awesome peanut butter.
I do Smucker's Natural.
Smucker's Natural. That's good. You should try some Home Plate. Chunky, like a monkey. Like that monkey on the screen there. What is that? Is that a lemur?
I'm not really sure what this is.
Whatever it is, it's dead.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about Instagram, because that's kind of scaring me there. I'm tired of lemurs. Let's move on to the Instagram change this week that's going on. And there's a lot that changed this week, folks. So while Christian brings that up, I just want to share, hey, if you're missing any of this and you're like, holy crap, tough to keep up, I want to encourage you, go to socialchefs.com/daily. Get the daily email. Christian does a great job of curating some good stuff, just 1 or 2 things every single day that can make your business better. That's at socialchefs.com/daily. You can get connected with Christine, with me, with Christian, and you can get smarter for your business. So check it out. Bang! There it is. So, right? So moving on to Instagram. Instagram might. Now, it's always so weird, right? I love that we're ahead of the curve and always worry that we're going to talk about something that never comes to fruition. But it's important to share this, right? So Instagram might get a new join chat sticker, which would make sense to me because, of course, they're moving to stories more and more. So, of course, let's have a little chat, woohoo, because then we can retarget you. Then we can talk to you more. So, Christine, are you going to chat it up in your stories or what?
Well, it's interesting. On the one hand, I was like, I don't know, because I feel like, I don't know. My first inclination was I was like, well, I consider when I hear the word chat, I think of like an immediate back and forth. And what's actually probably doing is just adding you to DMs with other people. So it's like a group DM. So that makes a little more sense. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay. A lot of people, the thing that bugs them about stories is that comments aren't public. They can't share things. It's kind of a not solitary, but a one-on-one experience. And that's one of the benefits of stories. But at the same time, I kind of like that they conceded a little bit to their audience here and said, you know what, even though we're pushing that as a plus, people don't necessarily want that. People might want to have it be a communal experience. And of course, Instagram is owned by Facebook, and Facebook is all about community right now. So I get that this is an opportunity to make an Instagram story a more communal experience. I think that's a good idea. I just kind of wonder how it's going to work.
Yeah. Group chat. Boy, that's interesting, right? So I commented on your picture, and now suddenly I'm talking to 37 other people, and
exactly.
I really just wanted to talk to you. I don't know.
I'm stuck with the bot trying to sell me sneakers on my story about my kids.
Yeah, there you go. They only sell me t-shirts, so no sneakers for me. So what about you, Christian? What are you thinking?
Here's the thing. One thing that, I'm sitting here reading through this, and it's like, hey, you know what? It's going to make it easier for users to interact with their followers. And I think for me, the problem that we have here, and you guys probably already experienced this a lot with social, is that, people have this one-track mind that it's a one-way street and they just want people to buy. The interaction is not there for most people. They don't care about the interaction in a way, So I'm glad they're trying to, we know that they're going to implement this at some point, but I don't like the fact that, customers are still thinking, or customers are not thinking like, hey, I want to buy something all the time. And the business is just push more stuff on the customer. And, they aren't listening to the customer. So I like the idea of this, but we got to get that interaction going on, between customers.
Yeah, it's about changing the mindset. And they changed the features in order to guide the mindset, I think.
Yeah, they force the mindset shift, and if you don't play, you don't get paid. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? I mean, they want us to do stories. Well, they better make it easier for us to interact and not just sell in a story, because that is not good. So now this is an opportunity. This is an interesting opportunity that we're going to see for people to hopefully interact, hopefully get some more feedback, and hopefully do less bye-bye baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear from too many people, and we are all in very close circles. A lot of people, they're always saying the same thing. It's like, hey, I go on Instagram and the first interaction I have with somebody is they're just trying to sell me something. And
interesting. I don't usually feel that with Instagram. I get that with LinkedIn, and it's horrific. But Instagram, I feel like I get to scroll through a lot of pretty things for a while before someone tries to sell me something. I don't know.
That's interesting.
So it's definitely, I think this is a good move, definitely for Instagram. But, I think overall, again, like you guys just said, I mean, you have to get the, mindset shifted here.
Yeah.
For people. So,
yeah. Cool. Well, we're talking about shoppability here. So Christian, let's move on to Google testing a new type of shoppable ad, which is one more way that the Google monster is keeping us right there. Pow, just buy this stuff right away, because I think in this case, the intent is clear. If I'm shopping for an orange backpack, right, I want to buy that orange backpack if I really like it. So for me, this is different. I don't want interaction. I don't want to talk to a salesperson. That's why I'm going to Google. I want an orange backpack that holds my 13-inch MacBook Pro. That's what I'm looking for. Don't fool around. I want 6 zippers. I want 5 compartments. It's got to hold certain stuff. When I find that, bang, I want to buy it. I don't even want to go to your website. So I think this is pretty awesome. What do you think, Christine?
I think it's awesome. I also think it's fascinating how everything is turning into everything else. Pretty much everything we do online is going to be shoppable soon, because this looks just like a shoppable Instagram post. And Instagram posts in turn have just gotten more shoppable. So it's very interesting that Google is getting shoppable now too. And also it's going to be a YouTube thing too, I think, also, right? Google is doing shoppable YouTube ads.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it makes sense. It's a natural outcropping of influencer culture, of affiliate marketing. There's already, whole industries of people that have cropped up simply because they've become influencers online. People see stuff in the picture and half the comments are, "Where'd you get that? Can I buy it?" So they might as well benefit from that. I just kind of wonder how Google is going to roll it out in terms of who gets to do a shoppable post, how they decide what posts are going to be shoppable, how they work with influencers, because this has opened a whole new can of worms for that. It makes a lot of sense on YouTube. I just wonder on search how that's going to turn up.
Yeah. Christian, what do you think?
I gotta say, I like this for YouTube. Actually, I like it a lot because YouTube, for certain creators, they've implemented the ability for them to be able to sell products underneath their videos. So I really like the idea that they're going to have shoppable posts. Very likely that it's gonna interface with the same with the same structure that YouTube is using on their platform. So I think like it can help, I think, surface more products for people. As far as search goes, again, I mean, it's going to be whoever dominates search pretty much. And again, I know we were talking about this earlier. Y'all weren't, some of you weren't fans of the fact that they kind of, there's some favoritism obviously that goes on for search, but I like the idea that they're, again, these are also like Pinterest as well. Like Pinterest has, shoppable pins. So, again, you're going to see all the platforms offer the same features. And, if I'm a business, this is a great feature for me. I definitely need to be using shoppable.
Well,
ads.
if I rank, right, that's the thing though. If I'm searching for red wine though,
right,
it's not going to get me. It's not going to, that's the thing, right? I think
Gary Vee.
It might be Gary Vee, yep. But it might also be someone who, because Gary hasn't talked about it in 4 days. It might be also a recency thing, right? And that's the interesting thing here. We're going to see how this works, and what if you don't have shoppability enabled? If it shows up in a search result and I can't buy it, now Google's going to downgrade me. So Google's going to force me to go back and re-index my website from 2011 for all my stuff, because otherwise I'm not going to rank. And yet that 2007 Cabernet Sauvignon that was $7.99 now is $47.99. And so it used to rank because it was really popular. Now at $50, it's junk. So yeah, this would be interesting how they play with this, because this has a lot of potential.
And to that end, I mean, I understand capitalism. I mean, I'm a business owner. I don't think it's evil that Google wants to make money.
No.
I don't think it's evil for them to say, you know what, we are offering you a free product, a free opportunity here, and we would like to make some money off of the people who are benefiting from it. I get that. The thing that's a little evil is that they've gotten us so used to search being a little more organic, and now they're changing the game. So again, I don't begrudge them wanting to monetize their powerful tool that is helping everyone's lives. I begrudge the bait and switch.
Yep, totally agree. And I worry again about the small business who is not going to rank in search because they have that one thing, and unless somebody searches exactly for them, they're not going to get found.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing also, by the way, with this, and by the way, Christine, I think some people are getting like feedback. I don't know if you have an extra browser tab open with audio. Saying you're getting some feedback. But
could be me.
I'm noticing, also with this article is, basically Google is trying to also get into getting more people to purchase from Google Express. So remember, Google is competing. They're competing with Amazon. They're competing with Apple. Who else do we have here? They're probably competing with Walmart as well. So, they also have their Google Express product. So, this is going to give you some YouTube ad options, but also it's going to bring products in from the Google Express catalog. So that's something to also keep in mind. Like if you have your products listed on your website, you have to kind of think, where do you want to put your products? Like if you're selling physical products, and again, this is mainly going to be geared towards people who sell physical products. You're going to want to make sure you have your products listed on the most popular sites. For example, Google Express, Amazon, Walmart, and so on. So somebody got some construction going on, I think.
Yes, my next door neighbor is apparently having some work done right now. Because why not?
Yeah. So I don't know. Overall, I think this is a good move by Google. Again, you guys mentioned they have to generate revenue. Again, they're a publicly traded company. But the other thing we also have to keep in mind, they're also competing heavily against Facebook, and Facebook and Instagram. And they're driving a lot of revenue from their search ads, but they still have to continue that revenue. It's going to be hard to obviously do as more and more companies get into doing the same exact thing they've been dominating for years. So I like the fact that they're moving into this space with these shoppable ads. I'd love to hear more, case studies on how successful these are.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and the Google Express thing, I think that actually, I totally went over that, but Google Express basically turns Google into Amazon.
Right.
Which is fascinating, right? It turns Google really into a shopping platform, much like Amazon. And of course, they can't have one click because that's patented by Amazon. So they'll do 2 clicks, which is okay. So it's curious to see how slick is this, right? How friction free is this? Because if I want to buy something, again, I think what Google's worried about is we drive people to Amazon because Amazon buys ads on everything. Amazon owns search engine results because, of course, their website's the most trusted on the internet, probably. So if that happens, now perhaps Google has an opportunity to capture them there. And instead of just getting 20 cents off that affiliate link, like they probably do, now they can keep them there, use Google Express, and they can mark it up instead of Amazon, which gives them another revenue stream. Again, I don't slag on them for that. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah. I've noticed actually Google Express, I hadn't been that conscious of Google Express. And lately I notice half my results when I'm looking to buy something are Google Express.
Yep. It's interesting. I get ads every day for Google Express, which is interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Could be a big deal. Could be much ado about nothing. So
and again, I think the YouTube element is going to be the most interesting part here.
If you do it, well, but you got to do a video then for your sofa. I mean, how interesting is that, right? I don't know. So I guess it depends, right? We'll see. But I agree, though. It could be really interesting. So getting excited. Here we go, right? Here we go.
And again, though, the key thing about this is you have to just keep in mind, if you're trying to sell product, you have to be where your customers are at. And for example, if that starts with Google, then, this is a perfect place. So just keep that in mind, maybe looking to getting your products on Google Express if you are not there right now. So I think it's a big move by Google, but I think it's a really good move for a business. So Phil, where do we want to go now? I think we had a couple of Facebook topics maybe.
So let's move to Facebook's topic on Facebook and Instagram appointment booking. Really interesting for the coaches and for the salons and those who sell kind of time, right? Those who sell time. This is super interesting. The fact that now people can book right from Instagram and Facebook is really slick. LinkedIn's had this actually for a while, which is fascinating. Now directly through Instagram and Facebook, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense if it's asked for. If it's pushed on you, it feels creepy. Like, hey, Christine, you want to go out Saturday night? And you're like, whoa, dude, who are you? Right? So that's kind of creepy. But if it's
you need a haircut.
Oh, sorry. I'm working on that. So, right. But that's the thing. That's the thing. If that's the case, then okay, this is kind of cool. This is an opportunity now to book appointments directly through a conversation, again, maybe to chat, right? If we have a chat now, boop, here, how about Thursday at 3? Yay, let's do this. So I don't know, Christine, do you do coaching as well? I mean, is this something you offer?
Well, the interesting thing is they have been able to do this for a while. It's just been through third-party apps. Like years ago, if you were connected to OpenTable or something, you have been able to have that button at the top of your profile there make a reservation. But you just needed to have it connected to another app. I know Booker is a popular app that's been there for a while, and I feel like that one maybe didn't integrate with Facebook. But I'm interested to see how Facebook's feature works now, because clearly they've changed something. I haven't dug into it that far, but clearly if they're making this big announcement, calling it new when it's actually existed in a form for a while, they're doing something new with it, right? So I imagine that maybe they're broadening the things that they partner with. Maybe they're having their own system in there. I would love to hook it up to my Calendly, for example. I think that would be great for me, for people to book different types of appointments. But yeah, they have had this feature to some degree for a while. So whenever they announce something as new that I know they've had, I kind of wonder what big innovations they're making to it to make it more user-friendly for a broader audience. And again, I meant to play with this a bit more in advance, but I think it's great. I heard that they're rolling it out only to select businesses, though.
That's how they always do it, right? They always roll it out slow. I mean, they always kind of make us excited about this stuff, and then not everybody gets it. But, you know, I think eventually it only makes sense that they roll it out to everybody, but I think they want to make sure that it works.
But they also want to, I mean, if they are, as they say, they're trying to get people towards real life connections, I mean, you need to facilitate the ability to have real life connections. And if they're saying that they want to benefit small and medium business enterprises, which is what they're saying, and of course, a lot of small businesses are saying, why do you keep turning the algorithm against us? But tools like this are another way to get those people back on their side, which is very smart because those are the people who pay to advertise. So I'm wondering when advertisements that include a an appointment are gonna. I mean, that's probably a thing as part of this.
Yep,
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
advertise with call to action buttons.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, like you said, this has already existed for the longest time. You know, you could use short stack, lead pages. You could use, what was it, Booker? I think you said there are quite a few booking tools that were available. They tie into your Facebook page.
Yeah, Acuity, but a lot of them didn't partner with Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And
I know Calendly didn't.
The problem with the way those tools were implemented, and this has been the bigger problem for Facebook for the longest time, especially for pages, is that those typical landing pages did not work on mobile, or at least they weren't visible to people on mobile. They worked, but you had to have published the link to the item instead of, hey, someone can easily tap on a book now button and go and book an appointment. So I think this is a good move by Facebook. Again, very good move because it's going to have Messenger integration. Obviously, it's also going to probably tie into Facebook's shopping piece as well on Facebook pages, as well as the ability to also tie into your product catalog, possibly upsell. You know, I'm thinking of all sorts of things here that are available. You know, imagine somebody books through here, they then get an appointment reminder through Messenger, and then maybe that could actually give them an upsell, an automatic upsell of, hey, here are other products that we have on Facebook, and then they can check out directly through Facebook. Personally, I don't shop through Facebook. I don't, I've tried hooking in some stores before, but I don't shop through Facebook. You know, uses a Stripe.
Do you shop through Instagram?
I shop a little bit through Instagram, but you know, I just don't shop on Facebook. And I think mainly that's because, again, it's also partly the view of the content that you're seeing. I think that's a big thing that's kind of shifted why people's behaviors kind of move towards Instagram versus Facebook.
The fact that Facebook knows so many of their users are on mobile, and yet their mobile tools still consistently lag behind their desktop tools continues to blow my mind. I get that there are technical concerns there, but come on, guys. So hopefully this booking integration will be much better for mobile because that's where people are making their appointments.
Yeah, and
I
from
feel
the here, so this is animated GIF here. So this is actually on mobile. So to me, I think that this might be their, like maybe they're finally saying, hey, we need to get around to fixing this mobile, making it more user friendly for people. So
are you getting a lace front wig? Is that what's happening here?
What was that?
Are you getting a lace front wig? Is that what's happening here?
How did you know? That was actually a surprise for the end of the show. We've got a discount code for everybody.
Interesting.
You have to sign up at the website at socialchef.com/Christian's getting a wig.
Nice.
That's the URL. So check that out, folks.
I recommend red.
Red? Okay, good. Christian, make a note of that.
Definitely. Will do. So as far as like from a business perspective here, I think that, if a business wants to learn more about this, I definitely would make sure that, dig around in your Facebook settings. Sometimes Facebook will roll these features out to you. They don't roll everything out to everyone at once.
Nope.
So you might actually be fortunate to get them on some of your pages. Start with that. Again, also here's another thing. If you're going to start listing services and whatnot, like if this is not out yet for you, spend the time actually going through what your existing services are that you offer and start to think, hey, you know what? I'm going to offer this on my website. Do I need to offer everything on my Facebook page if that becomes available to me? Maybe start small with a small subset of products, and kind of see how it works.
I have it. I'm in another tab right now and I have it.
Awesome.
It's exciting.
Right. So I actually think you might be able to share your screen with us actually.
Oh, okay. Then I'll back out of it and show people. All right. I'm going to back out of it and go to share my screen. Share screen. Oh, I need the Chrome extension. Meh, meh, meh. Of course I do.
Wait a second here.
To the prior conversation about Google being evil. Okay.
So while Christine's bringing that up, by the way, a couple other things I want to mention that I think are important about this, is that it's Facebook and Instagram integrating together here. So managing a lot of this through the Facebook platform as opposed to managing it through Instagram. So you do have to keep that in mind. Again, Facebook's also trying to sync everything together. They're really, pushing hard to consolidate messaging. I think you're going to also see, we know that ads are also run through Facebook, as well as for Facebook ads and Instagram as well. So, again, what's one more thing adding it back to Facebook to keep people on the platform in that same, set of code that they're using for everything. So,
all right. So are we going to go to my screen or do you have the?
Yes, actually. Yes. Perfect. Here we go.
All right, cool.
Go.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes,
yep.
we can.
Christine Gritman Inc. Okay. So book now, we can go to edit button.
Okay.
Free scheduling tool for your business. Woohoo! Start setup. Turn follows into customers. Yada, yada. Here's the annoying part. I am busy sometimes. And this doesn't seem to give
no integration with the real calendar.
Not that I can see. Let's see what it will do. I'm still going to start by kind of setting these.
Mm-hmm.
I work kind of school hours because kids. So let's go to there. Let's see what happens next. Appointment approval.
Okay.
Advanced bookings. Oh, sync to Google Calendar. There we go. All right.
A ding-a-ding-dong. Look at that, huh?
Ding, a ding dong. But the problem is I have like 30 Google Calendars. So will it let me choose my professional one? Yes, it will. CG. All right. When's the soonest people can book? Let's say a day. This is kind of amazing.
Right there, when you are booking appointments or allowing people to book appointments, make sure you give yourself enough time. Again, if you're a solopreneur trying to run your business, it's great to get people coming in, but make sure you give yourself enough time as well in between appointments so that it's easy for people to actually, so you don't feel rushed, but at the same time, so they get the service that they deserve.
Wow. This is really cool. So we're seeing this in real time. Christine is setting up her stuff so we can do all of this. Check this out, though. Look at all this stuff that you can pick from, which is fantastic. And you see how fast this is, folks. So if you're thinking you need to be a whiz kid, you just have to click and drag, and here you go, right? Here we go. So save it up, and now it's going to be live and just right. Holy cow. Woohoo.
And then get
what?
Awesome.
And it set it up on Instagram, too.
Like that. Like butter.
And unfortunately, Instagram is not at the point yet where it can show me what that looks like on my business profile, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't show you those handy business profile buttons. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So I'll look on my phone.
Yep. Cool.
So
really cool.
Look at the Facebook page real quick and let's see. Okay, so let's look at this. So you have an appointments tab. Okay, that's nice.
Book now.
Very nice. So again, that's going to be partly for you. I think there's a preview option there. And then chances are you're going to also probably have the ability to add it to the left in the left-hand nav there.
Yep.
So,
and it's there. It's on the mobile.
You got it on mobile? Good. Very good.
Yay.
Very cool.
So that's how easy it is to set up. Actually, that's actually pretty cool.
Yay. Happy to be of service.
There we go. So cool. Well, we have more stuff than we could cover today. We showed you some live stuff, but now you got to make sure that you sign up for our daily newsletter, because we got one more thing we didn't get to talk about today because we're not going to have time to do this, and that is Facebook's update to the video ranking. So if you want to get this, you want to see what's going on, make sure that you sign up for our daily newsletter. You go to socialchefs.com/daily, get all the daily goodness, get all the stuff we covered and some of the stuff we didn't. socialchefs.com/daily. Good stuff. Curated by Christian. So now comes tool time. So Christine, we're talking a little techie, but now we're going to go tooly. So tool time. It's time to do a little things, make a little love, get down tonight.
I'm a little low tech.
That's all
I'll
right.
sit this one out.
No.
I'll learn. Teach me.
You're gonna be just fine.
Which tool do you want to start with, by the way?
Well, let's start, because we had podcasts on today. Let's start with Overcast, which is my favorite iPhone, iOS only podcast listening app. So, Christine, are you iPhone or something inferior?
I'm iPhone.
Okay, good. Just making sure. So, Overcast, if you're looking for podcasts, you need to get Overcast. It's a great tool. It's the best podcasting app out there. It allows you to listen and then speed up. It allows you to create groups of podcasts. It allows you to save and tweet point-in-time snapshots of all of the podcasts that you listen to, so that if you said something smart at minute 12:36, boom, you can share it right there, and it'll tweet out, and then you have that point-in-time snapshot. It's super great. I love this app. I've been using this for 3 or 4 years, and it just works. But it's only Apple. It's called Overcast. Pretty awesome app. So, Christine, I'm teaching you, but do you listen to podcasts other than,
I do.
the show? Right?
Sometimes when I get a chance. It's not often that I run a company and I have 2 kids, but I try. I listen to them like in the bubble bath, or if I'm driving a ways to a client or an event, I get my podcast time in.
So one thing you could actually do from a podcast perspective is you can check out, there's another tool. I have to remember the name of it, but it basically will let you, if you say like, hey, I only have like 30 minutes, for instance, of time, you can slot in content. And what it will do is then basically you can fill it with just the content. Why do I want to listen to an hour of a show if I'm only driving 15 minutes? That sort of thing. So I have to pull up the app, actually. A friend of ours, Adam, he actually used to work for them. So while we're talking about this, I'll see if I can find that tool. But very good app. Overcast is again, this is a free app. I'd say it's a freemium app, actually. Keep that in mind. One that's free, but then it's going to charge you what is it, $10 a month, Phil, or is it a one-time purchase?
$10 one time.
One time, yeah. And again, your iOS device has podcasting on it. It's got a podcast player, but this also allows you to slot things in. You can speed up and slow down all of your content. You can obviously automatically download episodes and so on, but it's a great, very good app. And we talked about this earlier, like, hey, I don't really use the Twitter app, the native app. I use third-party apps because, I like that they help me get things done or do more things that the native app cannot do. So that's the first tool that we have for you this week. It's called Overcast. And the second one, and by the way, do you guys, whoever's watching right now, do you actually use Overcast, or do you use something else? Do you listen through the Apple podcast player?
That's me.
Spotify, for example.
That's cool.
So just let us know in the comments. But yeah, and actually, yeah, Eileen's mentioning, yeah, you can share video clips from Overcast now as well. Again, it's getting into just the whole multimedia player versus just being a one-stop shop for podcast. So,
yep, good stuff.
Okay, so the second tool that we have for you this week is Crowdfire. Phil, do you want to tell everybody about Crowdfire?
Yeah, so first, for those of you that are longtime social media tool users, Crowdfire used to be an interesting app that would allow you to copy other people's Twitter accounts, basically to take their followers and follow them and set this up, which was pretty hinky. So I was not a fan of Crowdfire. I'm just going to be straight up. That automated. I watched a lot of scumbags, people that I don't like, because they do scummy stuff on social. I saw them do this, and I was like,
follow.
Yeah, follow, unfollow, yep, all that garbage. So now they call it Social Media Management Simplified. Discover and schedule content and manage your account from one place. It's better now than it was, I'm not going to lie, but it's not my favorite app, but it's a great content discovery engine, because here's the thing. It lets you pick topics, and then it shows you content. So for me, it's one more place to potentially get some content that I haven't seen before, because I don't like to just share the Wall Street Journal and the mainstream news. I like to share some stuff that's a little bit different, a little bit offbeat. I mean, you see we've got stuff here that really, it isn't even rolled out yet, right? We're talking breaking news. So that's important for me. So Crowdfire gives us one more option for that. So Christine, have you used it?
I haven't. How do you find the content? Can you search hashtags? Can you search keywords in general?
Yeah, you search topics. Mm-hmm. So you put in a topic, and if they don't have it, you can search it, and then it comes back and it aggregates down
Does it let you create a list of preferred sources?
I haven't seen that. That's a good question. But it does let you, if you pay for it, and this is kind of an interesting thing, right? To get an RSS feed in, it requires you to pay for it. So, right. So that's interesting. I get that though, because likely they're storing it on their platform. So they're going to then integrate it into other stuff. So what I see is that people use that for their own blog, because right now it doesn't integrate. I pulled it up and I got something that I really didn't want to see on that, which was kind of interesting. I must have typed something wrong. But it did, if I add, like if I go to your post and I connect, the interesting thing is it does say that it'll connect other blog, but that means I have to log in. Like it's got connect LinkedIn company page. That's weird. No personal profile. Okay. WordPress blog. I'm wondering if that's WordPress.com or regular WordPress. Other blog, Etsy shop, Shopify, YouTube, Twitch, Vimeo, and 500px. So I don't know. So yeah, so it is interesting. So I'm gonna see like what it does. Yep, and it's WordPress. Of course, it's a WordPress.com. Right. So it's not gonna authenticate through with my personal one, because that's the one that I want, right? That's the blog that I want it to do. So let's see if other blog does this. Let's see. philgerbishak.com. Put in my blog, because if it doesn't work, I won't put our blog in there. So let's see. Enter your blog's address.
I feel like I should look up at you.
Yeah, like the Brady Bunch, right? Hello, holla. So let's see. You've got no post. Check back later. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. RSS. So So we'll see. We'll see if that actually lets me, but it's probably going to force me to pay. So I would still use Feedly, but I think this is a great alternative for some content discovery. Like I said, and the free account isn't terrible. If you just use it for content discovery, you can click it to Twitter, connect it to Facebook, a little LinkedIn, and a little bit of other stuff.
Custom posting schedule is not an option in the free.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not. Right.
So how do you share it?
Right now?
Yeah.
For me, though, what I do is I share it. I save it off somewhere. And then I share it when I feel like it. I push it into Agora Pulse. Yeah. That's my choice. That's what I use. Love Agora Pulse. Mike Alton's been on before. Big fans of Agora Pulse.
Me too.
So cool. Christian, what about you, buddy? You a Crowdfire guy? Or are you thinking about it?
I use Agora Pulse. So I use Agora Pulse. I source through Feedly and other sites as well. So again, different strokes, different folks. I mean, we talked about this, I think, a couple of times on the show. And that's the fact that like there's tons of tools out there, but it comes down to what you need to do in your business. Again, it's picking the right tool for the job. If you're just getting started, for example, you start with the best free tool that's available to you, and you work your way up, and you move into some of the more expensive paid tools. You get what you pay for, basically. So
well, but you got to understand what you're trying to do, right? Like every week we talk about this, folks. We got lots of tools you could use. Figure out your strategy before you figure out your tools. Don't go the other way. If you pick your tools, you lose. Instead, you pick your strategy, you figure it out, you get your content calendar together, and you go after it hard with whatever tool you can afford, because any tool can work great for you, and any tool can cost you time and money. So don't be shy. Try what's best.
So that does it for this week's show, by the way. So thanks a lot for joining, everyone. Christine, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
I'm so easy to find, you guys. First of all, I'm the only person with my name. So Christine Gritman, right there. M-O-N, not M-A-N. My maiden name, there was someone else with the same name. So I'm glad that 10 years ago I upgraded here. I am C. Gritman on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Christine Gritman Inc. on Facebook. And I'm Christine Gritman on LinkedIn. And I also have Christine Gritman Inc. there too that I'm trying to build. Yeah, check me out. I'm very friendly.
There you go.
We'll have you leave the best links if you want to in the comments. I'll just put a comment here, and then that way we can make sure that everybody gets the right links if that works for you. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I hope we have you back. I mean, you bring a lot of energy.
Thanks, I try.
Smarts. So thank you so much for joining us this week. For those of you watching, by the way, we will have a blog post recap that goes out tomorrow. Complete with all the topics we discussed, the video, the Alexa flash briefing, as well as some other topics that we didn't get to. But again, thanks a lot for joining. We will see you all next week. We're going to have, I think, let me see what we've got. We've got Moshe Isaackian actually coming on next week, Phil. So he's going to be our guest next week. But Christine, it's been an absolute blast having you on. Thanks a lot to everybody who spent just a fraction of your morning, very likely, with us. We will see you all next week. Thanks a lot for joining. Bye.
Bye, everyone.